Hello, everyone. I'm Cody Leist, sports editor at the Ledger Independent, and with me is local historian Ron Bailey. And this is the first of what we hope to be a series of videos talking about current events with ties to Mason County in this area. Ron, let's first of all talk about this week with the All-Star Game, tonight being the All-Star Game festivities at Minneapolis. First of all, talk about the local importance of the All-Star Game, maybe some local history that some people might not know about the All-Star Game that has some ties here.
Right. Well, one comes to mind is Woody Fryman. Woody, of course, pitched for Pittsburgh and Detroit, and he appeared in 2 All-Star games. In fact, the one in 1968 was in the Houston Astrodome, and he got to come in the game, and that game was a 1-0 game. But see, next year the All-Star Game will be in Cincinnati, so we have a little local flavor next year.
Mm-hmm. And talk about some of the, you've been around here for a long time, and talk about the history of the All-Star Game being in Cincinnati. It's happened, the city's hosted at least a couple of times before. Touch on that and how much the impact is and how crazy it can get down here.
Oh, I agree, because in 1970 I had the pleasure of being there tonight. Pete Rose knocked Ray Fosse over. I was way in the top, underneath the scoreboard in the old Riverfront Stadium, but it was a great thrill to be there. But the town just going crazy with the All-Star Game. I mean, people in Cincinnati love baseball, and it carries over this area too, the whole tri-state area. But it'll be a big event next year, really big. Talk
about the changes from the All-Star Game back to when you watched it in the 70s, when it was the last time over at Riverfront, to now where it's 2015, where it's going to be hosted over at Great American Ballpark. What are some changes that you notice that are some good things and some bad things about the All-Star Game festivities?
I know, like in the early days when I started first watching it, everybody played for pride. But now, whoever wins gets a home field advantage, World Series, which I think is good. That way, you got something to play for. But the night, like Pete Rose knocked Ray Fosse over, that was just pure guts. I mean, he wanted to win that game so bad. I mean, that's a big change. And back then, the managers picked All-Star work. It's a little different nowadays, where the fans get involved, which I think is good. I like that part.
Mm-hmm.
Really do, Cody. Really good.
Mm-hmm. Now, with the way everything's going right now, this NL Central has been very competitive, very junked up in the first half. What do you see going into the second half, starting Friday, when the Reds head out to the Bronx and go play the Yankees for 3?
Well, I love the Reds, put it this way, but they're going to have to make a trade. I mean, there's no way that they can keep them. With Phillips out in Votto, they got to get another stick in the lineup. And I hope Simon can continue doing well, but St. Louis has got a heck of a ball club. It's going to be a dogfight all the way to the end. But this is going to be a big series with New York and Milwaukee coming up. Big series. But I think the Reds, I know they're strapped financially, but they need to make a trade.
Mm-hmm. And what do you see as far as what's their biggest emphasis and need?
Right now with the injuries, they need Phillips going to be out 6 weeks. They need another utility man, because Hanahan will be back next week, supposedly. But with Votto, I think Votto's done for the year, myself. I mean, I think even if he comes back, he's not going to be 100%. So I'm sure they're looking right now, Jocker trying to find somebody on the waiver wire somewhere, but it'd be hard to do.
Mm-hmm. And with, essentially, we got the rest of this month with baseball going in and being that main focal point of sports, and then once it gets closer to August, everything transcends into football and the fall sports. What kind of things are you really looking forward to this fall?
I'm getting so excited because in October, when everything comes, you got NFL going, the NBA camps, Major League Baseball playoffs, and because the Bengals open up in 2 weeks in Cincinnati, for a training camp. So this is a really exciting time of year with high school football coming on, and really going to be an exciting time of year. Really, really exciting.
Mm-hmm. Well, Ron, thanks very much for your time. I appreciate it, and hopefully you'll get to check in more times with our video projects that we're going to be doing here with the Ledger Independent.